Hi everyone. Imagine your wife is complaining to you that you don't really care about her. This would surely trigger some unpleasant feelings in you. How are you likely to respond? There is the reactive way and the magician way. If you respond from your reactivity, it may sound like this. Who do you think I work so hard for? Nothing is ever enough for you. And what about me? Who cares about me? The magician way may sound like this. What do you mean by that? What do you need? How would you like me to better show I care? The magician's way is to wonder and inquire. He is not reactive but reflective. This role is the most complex of the four roles and the hardest to visualize. I'm going to share with you many tools via this program, similar to those I shared in my book. These tools will help you operate the magician in your relationship. I encourage you to subscribe now and get these tools as soon as we upload them. Enjoy!
The magician is someone with the capacity to create transformation. To effect change, the magician needs to see what is below the surface. This is why the magician is sometimes called a seer. He sees what most of us fail to see. He goes to the core of a matter and offers perspective and insights for effective solutions. As an expert in how things operate, he is able to create the magic that transforms situations and people. If the sword is the warrior's first tool, for the magician it is the torch. He brings light into places where it is hard to see. This is how he comes to understand deeper processes before he can transform them. His second tool is language. With the power of words and symbols, he can exert influence on people. The first magician in history were those human beings who expressed their emotions with words rather than violence. The magic was to transform emotions into words before they came out of the body into motion and action. You will find examples of magicians in our scientists, researchers, philosophers, consultants, marketeers, and psychotherapists. Think of the wise sage, the Buddha, or movie characters like Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings, Rafiki in Lion King, and the coach consultant in Moneyball. During the coronavirus pandemic, we witnessed how medical scientists played the role of magicians. They investigated the virus, developed a vaccine, and consulted the kings on how best to manage the pandemic. The unique power of the magician is in his ability to see reality for what it is. Changes in human behaviors begin by acknowledging what's wrong, while for most people this acknowledgement creates a discomfort they wish to avoid or defend against. For the magician, this is simply a starting point in the process of investigation and transformation. Denial is the problem, not the mirror that shows reality. In the context of relationships, the magician can distinguish facts from mental distortions created by interpretations, judgments, biases, wishful thinking, worries, and more. The Nobel Prize in 2002 was given to a psychologist for showing how poor judgment of reality regularly fails people and leads to bad decisions. To see things with clarity, a magician stays detached from the chaos. Such a detachment is essential for collecting data with objectivity and for healthy perspective to emerge. As a husband and father magician, your unique position in the family allows you to maintain some distance from the emotional drama with the kids. A mother's strong identification with her children means that their well-being has an enormous impact on your wife's mood. She is as vulnerable as her most vulnerable child. Their pain often becomes her pain. Never underestimate that impact. She is biologically designed to be highly responsive to them. This responsiveness is her strength, but also her vulnerability. Children are impulsive, chaotic, and unpredictable, especially when they are younger. Their chaos has a great impact on her. Given that she is highly reactive to anything that happens to them, her moods and choices are affected accordingly. As a man, it is easier for you to maintain a degree of separation from the emotional drama of parenting. Fathers are better able to stay out of the chaos, therefore better able to operate the role of the magician. The difference in how fathers and mothers react to children is the number one source of conflicts between partners. Unfortunately, partners often mask this conflict as some kind of ideological dispute about child rearing, but the underlying differences are a matter of biology, not ideology. As the magician in your family, you want to see this simple truth. Seeing is the beginning of a transformation. Seeing makes you less likely to be bogged down in arguments about child rearing and focus instead on dealing effectively with reactivity. In other words, focus on how to influence the family drama rather than escalate it. Some husbands use humor to diffuse the drama, while others intervene to support the mother. There are many ways to transform rather than escalate reactivity. Recall that the first step of the magician is to see. So let's take a closer look at how reactivity works in your family. Family is the birthplace of our emotional life. For better or worse, this is where we experience our deepest feelings and are most easily triggered. Just think about your parents and your reactivity around them. Now that you are married, this reactivity has shifted to your wife. The closer people are to us, the more they matter to us, and the stronger our reactivity around them. As someone once said, family is the rubbish bin of our emotions. Blame your reactivity on your attachment brain. To survive, we need the closeness of other human beings. We need security and belonging. We want to know that we can rely on our partner to care for us in times of need. When we finally find this person, they become not only a source of joy, but also of frustration, disappointment, and fear. We place a great deal of power in their hands. This attachment is why you and your wife are naturally reactive towards each other. It is also why your conflicts can escalate so quickly and so dramatically. Your attachment brain interprets conflict as threats of rejection and abandonment. Your attachment brain is automatic and reactive. Attachment implies little space in between. It is harder to zoom out to gain perspective and clarity. The magic you want to create is that little space between action and reaction, between stimuli and response, between you and your bodily reactions. The magic is your ability to see things with clarity, examine them with curiosity, and find out what works in each situation. It's not easy to create this magic. Even seasoned professionals struggle to create it with their own families. You need the power of the magician to help you transform reactivity into effective responses. It is probably the most complex masculine role. If you stay tuned to our program, you will get many tools for adopting it in your family life.